Oh my God, Ross, no, hang up the phone. Give me the phone, Ross. Give me the phone, give me the phone, give me the phone.
Welcome to MsMojo. And today, we're looking at the Ross and Rachel moments that have kept Friends fans fawning over this couple for decades.
It's you and me, all right? This is it.
This is it. Unless we're on a break.
Number 20. Doing laundry. After moving in with Monica, Rachel has to adapt to big city life. Fortunately, she's got Ross to help her lose her laundry virginity.
Have you never done this before?
Well, not myself, but I know other people that have. Okay, you caught me. I'm a laundry virgin.
Before all their eventual relationship drama, we catch a glimpse of how pure and comfy Ross and Rachel's friendship is. Along with showing her the ropes, Ross teaches Rachel to stand up to people who take advantage of her.
Quit making up rules.
Let go! Come on, this is my car. You know I thought it first. You didn't let me know the second time.
All right, listen, Mitzi. If you want this cart, you're gonna have to take me with it.
Meanwhile, Rachel brings out the best in Ross, as fans see just how kind and sweet he can be. Let's also not forget that this scene technically gives us the first Ross-Rachel kiss in the series. Number 19. The Europe Story. There are times when the Friends group is way too close, and this is certainly one of them. To figure out who, between Ross and Rachel, came onto whom, the gang watches the tape of Emma's conception. Although Rachel insists it was Ross, the truth eventually comes to light.
Ross, did I ever tell you about the time that I went backpacking through Western Europe?
Turns out she used Joey's Europe Story, which is basically the Netflix and chill of the pre-social media era.
You used the Europe Story.
That's the magic story you use when you want to have sex.
After being teased for most of the episode, Ross gets some sweet vindication. It also makes clear that, deep down, Rachel desires Ross just as much as he wants her.
I think it would have happened either way. I mean, if you had initiated it, I know I would have.
Was an amazing night.
Number 18. Inducing labor. After building up to Rachel's delivery throughout the 8th season, everyone's eager to see the baby. Too bad Emma's in no hurry to arrive. While she's understandably upset, Rachel takes her frustrations out on Ross.
Like you haven't done enough.
Upon learning that sex could induce labor, Rachel tries to goad Ross into helping her out. Although he tries to take the high road, it isn't long before Ross reaches the end of his rope and gives in.
I mean, you'd think the damn jalapeno would have cleared up your sinuses, but no, that's not enough.
Before they've gone very far, though, this does the trick. We don't know if such a quick result is medically accurate, but Ross sums it up best.
I am good!
Nothing about Rachel's pregnancy was conventional, so it makes sense that we get something equally unexpected to sign things off. Number 17. Ross's made-up proposal. We never see a proper proposal scene between these two, but Ross does paint a very real picture of what it would have been like. Forced to act like a married couple for Jack and Judy's anniversary, Ross and Rachel get creative for their made-up nuptials. What begins as a joke turns into a surprisingly touching story. We learn how Ross would have proposed had things worked out with Rachel the way he wanted. While he's often criticized for how he handled their relationship, it's hard not to feel your heart melt at this moment.
I took her to the planetarium. That's where we had our first date.
Swept away by his story, even Rachel forgets it never happened.
That is so sweet.
Shh, I want to hear the rest.
Although they aren't together at the time, this interaction shows us why the pair was always meant to be.
I got on one knee, and written across the dome in the stars were the words, "Will you marry me?"
Number 16. The Prank War. After Rachel teases him for thinking that she was trying to seduce him, Ross decides to get revenge. Thus begins a long flight to Vegas with the duo trying to one-up the other. Whether it's kissing a random guy on the head and blaming it on Ross or spreading false rumors about Rachel, nothing's off limits.
Ross, what are you? I'm sorry, sir. I think he just really likes you.
And while Rachel arguably has the upper hand through most of it, Ross seals the win by drawing on her face with a permanent marker. It just goes to show that not all Ross and Rachel moments are about romance. Some are just about how they bring about the silly in each other. Actually, maybe that is romantic.
Thank you very much. It's excellent.
Hope you had a nice flight.
Oh, it was the best.
Number 15. Getting back at Barry. Rachel's ex-fiancé Barry was already a two-timing jerk, but he becomes even less likable when Rachel attends his wedding to her friend Mindy. Rachel's wardrobe malfunction as she walks up the aisle is embarrassing enough, but she then finds out that Barry's parents told everyone she went insane from syphilis.
Insane?
from the syphilis.
Or are they gonna say you didn't love me anymore? Come on.
While Ross's attempts to stand up for her don't quite work out, at least the intentions were there.
She walked out on Barry is simply that she didn't love him, which incidentally worked out pretty well for me.
When Rachel finds out that Barry has bet on her leaving early, she's had enough. Together, Rachel and Ross steal Barry's thunder with a live rendition of Barry Manilow's Copacabana. Number 14, saying I love you. There's nothing wrong with planning for the future, but you will raise a few eyebrows if you've never discussed it with your partner.
I'm sure you'll feel totally different when it's our baby. What?
You think about stuff like that?
Yeah.
Still, saying the L word can sometimes make everything right, as we see here. While Rachel freaks out over his lofty plans for them, Ross is adamant that they are meant to be. Despite being in a screaming match, the two realize that there's only one explanation. They're in love. It's not every day you see people saying I love you while yelling at each other, but Ross and Rachel turn this into one of the series' most heartwarming moments. It's clear they still haven't figured it all out yet, but things rarely make sense when it's a matter of the heart.
Tough, because you're gonna have to deal with that.
Fine, I will.
Good, because I love you.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, I love you too.
Well, that's the first time we've said that.
Yes, it is.
Well, I'm gonna kiss you.
Well, you better.
Number 13, Ross learns Rachel's expecting. TV show pregnancy reveals are usually filled with warm-hearted sentiments. That's not what Friends fans got. However, the ridiculous comedy of errors here has its own charm, misunderstanding Rachel's attempts to talk as wanting to get back together. Ross is in for the shock of his life.
Condoms only work like 97% of the time.
What?
Before Rachel knows it, things go off the rails, and Ross is complaining to the president of the condom company. It's a delightfully kooky scene that once again goes against our expectations, as the big Ross and Rachel pregnancy reveal turns into a meltdown for the ages.
I want to talk to the president of the condom company.
Fortunately, Ross comes around to the news, although the condom company still ends up getting an earful.
What'd you say to her?
Nothing. But the complaint department at the condom company got an earful.
Number 12, Emma is born. Sure, several Ross and Rachel moments are played for laughs, but Emma's arrival has the most wholesome payoff. With almost an entire day spent in labor, Rachel is finally ready to give birth. While her headbutting Ross does put a comedic spin on things, the pair goes through the delivery like a team. After so many bumps along the way, this scene captures Ross and Rachel at their best. Now parents to a baby girl, the duo enjoys their moment of bliss.
Do we have a name yet?
No, not yet.
That's fine. For now, we'll just call her Baby Girl Green.
Oh no, Baby Girl Killer Green.
We wouldn't have complained if this were the series finale, as the visual of Ross and Rachel sharing a beautiful kiss seems like the proper ending to their story. Of course, there was still more to come, but few moments are as perfect as this one.
Hello, baby girl.
Number 11, singing for Emma. Who knows what goes on in the mind of a baby? Some, like Emma, might be partial to finding humor in big butts. Try as they might, Ross and Rachel can't get a laugh out of her unless it's lyrics from Sir Mix-a-Lot.
You sang Baby Got Back, didn't you?
Nothing else worked. That girl is all about the ass.
So, like any good parent would, the two put on a live performance of Baby Got Back for their child. It's as bizarre as it sounds, yet you can't take your eyes off them even if you wanted to.
Fellas.
Yeah.
Fellas.
Yeah.
Has your girlfriend got the butt?
Hell yeah.
So shake it.
Shake it.
Shake it.
Shake it.
Shake that nasty butt.
Just ask the rest of the Friends gang, whom Rachel and Ross realize all too late were watching their performance the whole time.
I like big butts and I cannot lie. You are the brother.
Number 10, Ross takes Rachel to the hospital. Not long after their infamous breakup, Ross proves he's not such a bad guy by giving up the professional opportunity of a lifetime to help his ex-girlfriend. Ross has a spot on a panel for the Discovery Channel, but an injured Rachel begs for his help to get ready for a work dinner.
Either help me or go.
Fine, I'll go.
Okay, but before you go, could you help me first?
Sure, I'll help you.
He tries to rush through doing her makeup, hilariously, but ultimately decides it's more important that he take Rachel to the hospital. The tension between them, and the fact that Rachel doesn't know what Ross is giving up for her, make this moment stand out. And when Rachel does find out, she's incredibly moved, and almost seems ready to forgive Ross for the "we were on a break" fiasco.
Cannot believe you.
What?
That is the sweetest thing.
Number 9. Marriage in Vegas. The season 5 finale had us all prepared for a Bing Geller wedding, but instead of the nuptials we'd been promised all season, we got the marriage we'd been asking for since the very beginning. Granted, it wasn't under the most perfect of circumstances, but for a few short episodes, we were all treated to a glimpse of Mrs. Ross and Mr. Rachel.
Hello, Mrs. Ross!
Lucky for us, the marriage leads to some of the funniest Ross and Rachel moments, as Rachel finds out from Ross's divorce lawyer that he didn't get the annulment, and she files for one herself, claiming that Ross is a gay, mentally unstable person with substance use disorder who couldn't consummate the marriage.
When I'm not gay, and there is no problem with my ability to consummate anything. Look, I'll consummate this marriage right here, right now.
Number 8. When were you under me? Ross has the worst luck. He just so happens to be in China when Rachel finds out about his feelings for her and decides to give a relationship with him a try. You know Rachel, the girl he'd pined for since high school? Rachel heads to the airport to surprise him, but when Ross gets off the plane with Julie, Rachel does not take it well. She eventually hits rock bottom when she leaves Ross a drunken voicemail, and her best attempts to prevent Ross from hearing it aren't quite good enough.
You're over me? When were you under me?
David Schwimmer is at his uncontrollable best as Ross tries to process the information, but Julie arrives just in time to add to the awkwardness, leaving Ross and Rachel's fate in the balance.
That's Julie. That's Julie. Julie. Hi, Julie.
Hi, honey. I've got a cab waiting.
I'll be right down.
Number 7. Night at the museum. Ross and Rachel are both excited for their first real date when Ross gets called into work. While a museum date may not sound like much fun, Ross pulls out all the stops, setting up some sexy tunes and a beautiful projection so the pair can stargaze while sipping on their juice boxes.
Listen, I'm sorry I had to work tonight.
Oh, that's okay. You were worth the wait. And I don't just mean tonight.
It wasn't the date they'd been planning, but it turns out to be just as romantic, if not more so. That is, until they wake up the next morning to see a visiting group of stunned school children.
Can't believe I'm waking up next to you.
I know, it is pretty unbelievable.
This may be the ultimate example of Ross going the extra mile, and he certainly scores points with Rachel, but we're still not quite sure how he didn't get fired. Number 6. The breakup. You could always count on Friends to be funny, but when the situation called for heavy drama, the show was unafraid to punch us right in the gut. Besides the rest of the gang eating leg wax in Monica's bedroom, there's very little to laugh about in the one with the morning after. That's when Rachel finds out that Ross cheated on her, or took advantage of them being on a break, depending on how you look at it.
I didn't think there was a relationship to jeopardize. I thought we were broken up.
We were on a break.
That, for all I knew, could last forever. That, to me, is a break-up.
The resulting scene is so relatable and so heartbreaking. We still have trouble watching it, but the breakup is written in such a way that you clearly see both sides of the argument, and the actors more than do it justice.
This can't be it.
Then how come it is?
Number 5. The prom video. It may be hard to believe, but Ross Geller wasn't always such a smooth-talking ladies' man, as evidenced by Monica's old prom video. While Monica and Rachel get ready for their big night, Ross, the older college student with facial hair extraordinaire, is lurking in the background, ready to jump at the chance to save the girl he loves from high school humiliation.
Oh dear. Jack, how do I turn this off?
Of course, it's Ross who's eventually humiliated, but the gesture is enough for present-day Rachel to forgive him for the infamous pros and cons list. The ensuing kiss makes any list of memorable Friends moments, and kicks off the pair's relationship for real. And as for the mating rituals of lobsters, Phoebe has never spoken truer words.
See? He's her lobster.
Number 4. We were on a break. The show's most infamous quote originated in season 3 when Rachel suggests they take time apart to think about their relationship, and, well, we've already mentioned what happens next.
Let's get some frozen yogurt or something.
No. A break from us.
Ross's excuse became a running gag on Friends, but perhaps its greatest ever use comes during their second breakup. You know, the one where Rachel writes Ross that letter asking him to take full responsibility for everything bad that happened between them. There's nothing subtle about this blowout. This time, both Ross and Rachel do their best to publicly shame each other.
We were on a break!
It was gutsy to write a funny breakup scene for this fan-favorite couple, but David Schwimmer and Jennifer Aniston shine, this time in loud, over-the-top performances. It definitely paid off.
I just feel bad about all that sleep you're gonna miss wishing you were with me.
Oh, no, don't you worry about me falling asleep. I still have your letter!
Number 3. Ross Says Rachel. The Ross and Rachel saga wasn't a huge part of season 4, so when the friends took off for London to see Ross marry Emily, it left us wondering if our favorite TV couple was over for good. Little did we know that shelving the pair throughout the season was a cruel ploy, as Ross's accidental confession at the altar comes out of nowhere, reopening the door for this on and off couple in one of the show's most surprising twists.
I just needed to tell you. Congratulations.
The minds behind Friends always knew when to keep Ross and Rachel on the back burner. In fact, sometimes they did it for entire seasons. But the longer the build-up, the more memorable the payoff.
Hi, Ross.
Hi, Ross.
Take the Emily.
Take thee, Rachel. Emily.
Number 2. The first real kiss. The one where Ross finds out is arguably the most quintessential Ross and Rachel episode ever, as drunken messages and arguments over Ross and Julie's cat culminate in one iconic moment at Central Perk.
It's too late. I'm with somebody else. I'm happy. This ship has sailed.
Okay, so what are you saying? You can just sort of put away feelings or whatever the hell it was that you felt for
Hey,
me?
I've been doing it since the 9th grade. I've gotten pretty damn good at it.
Rachel is closing down the deserted coffee shop when Ross turns up to rant at her. Emotions run high, ships have sailed, but it's clear what they both want, even through all the yelling.
Try the bottom one.
It's satisfying to see a moment that's been building for a full 30 episodes actually pay off. But Ross and Rachel's first kiss is so much more than just a first kiss. It cemented their place in television history as early as season 2.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. I Got Off the Plane. 10 years after we first met this iconic couple, Rachel finds herself moving to Paris and has to say au revoir to her friends. After she says goodbye to everyone but Ross, then sleeps with him, then gets on the plane to Paris anyway, Ross gets one final chance to tell Rachel how he feels courtesy of a frantic race to the airport.
I know you love me. I know you do.
Miss.
I have to get on the plane.
He returns home rejected. But soon enough, 10 seasons of Will They, Won't They, Laundry and Lobsters, and loads of We Were on a Breaks are all wrapped up in 5 little words.
Oh my God, did she get off the plane? Did she get off the plane?
I got off the plane.
The wait to see Ross and Rachel get their happily ever after comes down to a last-minute change of heart and a faulty phalange, but it was all totally worth it. Do you think Ross and Rachel were ever on a break? Sound off in the comments.
Because you guys were on a break.
Hey, we were not on a...
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.